All right, so this is my profile funnel ecosystem, and I've just really been developing it over the last 12 months. It's something that I've been doing over the handful of years, but I'm always refining. And the goal is to build something that will compound for your brand. Like you do it once and, an input, which the output is more than just 1-to-1 ratio. It's at least 1-to-2 or 1-to-1,000,000. It just really depends, but this thing compounds. So one thing I want us to learn is it's going to take time for this to scale. But then also, how many people are you getting through the pipeline? Are you running ads? Are you going viral with organic content? Are you doing outreach daily? So it builds and it compounds, and this is how you're easily going to make 100K a month plus in profit, but also how you can scale to 2, 3, 4, 500K a month if you're building this ecosystem and just getting as many leads over a long period of time. This is also a sustainable model to scale. And this is kind of how you're going to see a lot of people in the space, how they built it for years and years on end, but it started to become what we call the new meta. So I just want to share this. This is the profile funnel ecosystem. And just to kind of zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see, and I'll break each one down step by step, and I'll give you guys practical tips on it. Again, going step by step. So it starts right here, social media, and then you have the platforms. This is all nurturing. Everything on the left, the blue, is to nurture. Community, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, which eventually goes into a newsletter. Okay, I think email list is a compound activity. And then you go from email text that really promotes another place where you can educate or train your audience. That could be a live call, live webinar, pre-recorded webinar, or what we call VSL, video selling letter. And this can be also in a form of like a free YouTube video. So just a way for them to get on a place where they can get educated more. Okay, so that's the goal. It's to bring attention on social platforms, drive them to your email, your newsletter, send emails or text that promotes your next education training that eventually qualifies them into whether it's an application form. And then eventually, if you guys don't want to do book calls, I built a system where it's like a no book call system. It goes right here. So there's no book calls where you could do DM convo, or if you're doing book calls for your business, either way. But this is where the conversion happens, whether it's in the DMs, the book calls, and this is a system I built into all our businesses that we're helping right now to go to your offer, your leverage offer, leverage community. Now, let's say they don't want to be part of this. Well, let's get them right back into your ecosystem, which is YouTube, to educate them, a longer form training, 7, 10, 15 minutes, whatever that is. And then they see you at the top of the mind because you're posting on social, you're running ads, goes back to your newsletter, and then they go back into this whole pipeline. So this is the profile funnel ecosystem in its most simplistic way. I'm all about simplicity, but also there's obviously different structures and backends based on each one of these pillars that we bolt in on the back end. But as long as you kind of understand the roadmap, this is what we're trying to build. So again, the ecosystem. I actually have taught this to paid members and people that I've taught, but this is the long story short. Build a content ecosystem. I'm working on a video on this channel, kind of showing you guys the whole content ecosystem. You can look at how I'm doing it. There's ways to do this based on softwares, systems. But the first part is figuring out this. Where are you on social? 1 or 2 platforms if you're just starting off. How can you drive them to a newsletter? I do a weekly Friday newsletter. And then how can you send emails or texts that get them to the next exposure or a educational training? Okay. So content. What is your content strategy? That's step 1. Step 2 is setting up your live VSLs, video selling letters, your live calls. I actually have just like a simple VSL doc. If you guys want any of these, just join my email list, wink, wink, and then email me and let me know that you want my profile funnel ecosystem GDoc, and then we'll go ahead and send that out to you. I have a YouTube VSL, which is on this YouTube channel that I'm putting this on. And then I have a VSL slides from that. And that's what I push people on. I push them to either my newest or latest training. And then I also have a training that's in my link in bio on Instagram. 2 totally different trainings. I've been debating if I want to do both, but I'm just kind of testing both angles. So yeah, the step 2 is figuring out what is that VSL live call that you're pushing everyone to. Okay. There's a framework on how to build this. And if you guys want to be able to diagnose it, that's what this video is for. Go ahead, diagnose it. I've done a lot of VSLs. I've trained a lot of people on it. There's a science to it, an art and a science to it. So that's step 2 is figuring that out. What are you pushing everyone to after they've gotten that attention from like a short form piece? Number 3 is the qualify and conversion process, which is the application to a DM convo or a book call. So my question is, and I have a tracker here that I gave a lot of our clients, how many leads per day are you talking to? How many conversations? How many connect calls? How many strategy sessions? I guarantee if you're doing 0 each week, then the amount you close will be 0. Okay, so if it's 0, you need to follow the content ecosystem. You can't control outcome, but you can control output. Just a framework, because people get really delusional in business. So I really teach them like, well, how many people are you getting in front of? And again, this can be in a form of paid ads that leads them to a conversation, DM outreach where you're doing it or someone from your team's doing it, or it's your content that's attracting the people to want to reach out to you and you're doing like CTAs. Super solid on that, okay? 3 is building that qualifying conversion process. And that's, you go through my Instagram, I have the application. Once they sign the application form, I just had an application just today and they filled it out. Seems like a good lead, so I follow up with a DM just to see if they are qualified, just with a few more questions. After that, I send information on the details of what the offer is, and then they decide through the DMs, and then we close them there. Send the link, close, onboard them, good to go. Step 3 is figuring out that qualifying conversion process based on your offer and your ecosystem. Okay, that goes here. Now, the close and the offer. So I have like DM scripts. On getting your first client. I actually have a video on my channel as well on getting your first client. I have strategy session closing scripts. So that's where you get them to close into one of your offers. And again, everyone's offer is going to be different. We're always refining our offers, but this is really because you could get everything, but if you're not good at closing, you don't know the frameworks, asking the right questions, qualifying them, how are you going to be able to close them? Okay, and that leads into the offer. Now, if they don't book into your offers or purchase, the goal is to what? Build more trust. And that's really the reason why people don't buy. Really, it comes down to that one word, trust. Can they trust you? Okay, it's all trust. It doesn't matter how much it is. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Can they trust you? So the goal is to create more content. The framework is you're in the business of building specific solutions to annoying problems. Thinking problems, solving products. How to solve blank problem. How to do this step by step. These are the types of content, the simple ones, on how to be able to capture these people into your ecosystem. So if they don't convert off the DM convo and book calls, drive them into another education, training, teaching that eventually builds top of the mind that gets them into this full ecosystem. And notice how I'm not talking about websites, okay? And that's something I want to talk about. Like, notice how I don't talk about website. A website's just there for, you could say, branding and just to show that, hey, you're real. But this is a conversion process that everyone needs to put. And these are all funnels. There's links to funnels. There's trainings. Building a newsletter. Like, these are all in the funnel backend, not just a simple website. Most of us, like, I don't convert people through a website. I get converted through a funnel. And most of our clients, large amount, convert through funnels. So what we do is we bolt in these funnels for our clients, and that's what my agency does. It's more done for you. But I wanted to show you guys that this is the ecosystem, and I think everybody, as long as you're getting creative on the content side, figuring out a really solid content strategy, what we do is we build backends to make sure that when you do get leads and you are getting clients, you are doing outreach, they're getting plugged into your ecosystem, and it's not just another person that goes cold for months and months. I've had people that have been on my newsletter since I first reached out 9 months ago. And then they're like, hey, I just saw your newsletter. I've been following you. I think I'm ready. Welcome to the Profile Funnel ecosystem. Cool. Any questions? I have a playlist kind of going through all of this, and I hope you guys are getting a lot of info from that, wisdom, and really just being able to apply it. If you guys want us to build it out for you and you want that kind of done for you, that's what we do. You guys can tap into the link, the training below. Again, exactly what I do. You guys got a lot from this. Run this for yourself. If not, you want us to do this for you, cut your learning curve, cut the time, and get consulted on it. That's what we pretty much specialize in. All right. I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Drop below, but also there's a playlist. If you guys haven't checked that playlist, I highly advise it. Take care. Bye-bye.